Corey Soros here for Slap News pre-fight interview, Power Slap number 3 with Ron Bata. How you doing, my man?
Oh, doing pretty good, bud.
Awesome. What an exciting fight that is coming up here. Let's get right into it. You are going up against static AJ Hints for the light heavyweight championship belt. Once again, 3 times in a row, you are up there in the title match. How does it feel to you? Is this one any different than the previous 2?
No, not as far as like title aspect go. I mean, it means more to me because, it's my weight class that, like my walking around weight class. So it's better for me that way.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as it being a title match, no, it's about the same for me.
Yeah. I remember last time telling you day of the fight that your match was going to be on at 8:40 p.m. and you were surprised it was going to be so late.
Yeah.
And I made sure to check, and you know what? It was like 8:42 because I wanted to report back to you to let you know that I was actually right and accurate on that.
Yeah, that was a long night.
Absolutely, my man. But for you dropping on light heavy, I know right from the get-go, Power Slap number 1 in the post-fight interview press conference that we had in the media center, you talked about your desire to defend your heavyweight belt and then to one day drop down to light heavyweight. That is now happening. Power Slap number 3, like you said, more your natural weight class. AJ Hints, bit of a shorter guy coming in at 5'8". Have you ever fought in your history someone that short? And do you see any obstacles fighting someone being, with a 3-4 inch weight discrepancy?
No, I think the shortest guy that I compete against in slap fighting would be Coach Gilla. I mean, he's like 5'10", 5'11". So, I mean,
okay.
So it's going to be quite a bit different.
Yeah. Have you been training at all? Have you lowered your bob or anything down to kind of change up your striking style?
No, I mean, right now I'm concentrating on just lifting weights and really just cutting weight because, I didn't get a release from my medical. I didn't know about getting released from it until, it was 3 weeks. I got 3 weeks from the time I knew about it till the match. So, I mean, I got 3 weeks to get 25 pounds off. So.
Okay, 25 pounds. Wow. Doing anything different? I know you said you just got out of the sauna. So are you using that to try to get some of the weight off?
Yeah, I bought a sauna for the house, and then I got weights obviously at the house. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to change my diet completely. I'm a big Mountain Dew guy, and I haven't had none. I've been trying to drink just water. So,
yeah. In terms of your diet, are you going keto, trying to cut out some carbs, like trying to get away from the fast food? Like what's happening there?
I've just been eating all protein.
Okay.
So
Nice.
pretty much everything that's protein, and then just water. I've been trying to drink, about 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of water a day.
Nice. So, I mean, 3 weeks to get ready for this fight. Did you have any reservation on saying yes to it, or was it, you get a chance at a title, you got to take it?
No, there wasn't no hesitation. I mean, I knew I wanted to go down to light heavyweight, and then I got the call about being offered the belt. So yeah, there was no hesitation. I didn't know if it was going to be, me or Alan first at the light heavyweight belt. So they went with me. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, they put you in there at the number 1 contender spot in light heavy when they updated the rankings post Power Slap number 2, obviously giving you a lot of, faith, credibility, and respect to be able to change division and be there right at the top. AJ Hints is 5-1. I mean, you've probably seen him fight, more than anybody else because you were there obviously as a coach back to the, the rehearsals, 2 marches ago. What do you see in his game? And is there anything that you're going to look to try to exploit?
As far as his game goes, he's a tough guy. I mean, he's, he won all throughout the reality show. He came in a Power Slap 1 and did the upset over Byrne. And then, he didn't win the way he liked to, I'm sure, but he ended up winning in Power Slap 2 as well. So, I mean, he's a tough competitor for sure. He's not somebody I'm going to take lightly.
No, absolutely. It's interesting. And, there was a lot of talk, especially on the reality series, about his about the average neck force that he had, and having the strongest neck force. I believe it was around 465 newtons in regards to that. Do you think one, has he ever been hit as hard as you're going to hit him? And two, do you think you've ever gone up against someone with that type of neck strength?
No. I mean, one of the toughest guys, I mean, still to this day, I mean, I've competed against was Darius and the Bell, and I don't think they got anywhere near that on the neck strength. So, we'll have to see how that one plays out. As far as being hit, I mean, I'll probably hit as close to Vern. So I'm sure he's been probably hit about as hard as I'm going to hit him, or, maybe just a little less. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to see what he can do, and, on offense and defense.
Yeah. July 7th comes around, Rumble, 6 p.m. It's probably going to be, once again, I'll call it one more time, around 8:40 p.m. Your matchup comes on. Realistically, how do you see this fight going? Obviously, it's going to be a 5-rounder.
Do I think it's going to be a 5-rounder?
Oh, sorry. I just meant like being a championship match, it could go to 5 rounds. But realistically, how do you see this match unfolding?
I don't see it going to 5 rounds, honestly. I mean, as everybody knows, he's got knockout power. I know I do. I got sat down for my first time in my last match, and he's been, put down a few times in his past couple matches. So I don't see it going 5. But I see it being a good match for 2 or 3 rounds by, whoever ends up pulling it out.
Mm-hmm. Seeing still Power Slap number 2, the amount of, fouls that have been committed. To my recollection, I don't believe that you've committed any fouls yet in your matches. Mm-hmm. Is it something that worries you, either one, for your safety, or two, obviously trying to come out, on the judge's decision if it goes there, to keep a real clean match?
That's what I was going to use for my little video I was making. But I believe I believe the fouls do play into effect, because I'm worried about my health. If you hit me with the bottom of your palm, the bottom of your hand, right? You're pretty much just punching a defenseless man. And then you hit them too high in the eye or the temple. You step, because a lot of people think it's just going up there and just throwing whatever. But if you step, then you're putting every bit of ounce of power you have into it, and that's dangerous too for for somebody that's just standing there. So it concerns me with the health a little bit whenever they let fouls be committed and not get called, or even when they do get called. A point. I think it needs to be a little bit more drastic, honestly. Because you can recover from a point by just having the next 2 good rounds. So I think a foul needs to be, 2 or 3 points. It needs to be something that you don't do for the rest of the match, and you have to win the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very fair and valid point. You were able to watch Russell and AJ before you went out, and you were even watching it back. Do you think they made the right decision to call that on Russell as a step and award AJ the victory?
I do. I was actually back there with Dane when we were both watching it back there, and he was excited that Russell got the knockout, and I told him, hold up, he stepped, and then they ended up finally calling it. And, it's an unfortunate thing, but that's what the rules are there for. So, as far as Russell though, he put AJ down. So hats off to him for that. So hopefully next time he just learns to keep his feet still, and then he'll actually walk away with that W.
Yeah. The first time Power Slap number 1, you kind of got the monkey off your back. Was kind of the one ace in your hole that you didn't, or you weren't able to capture, obviously beating Darius. There's a ton of emotion for you finally being able to do it. Do you see yourself being able to get up for this match against AJ as much as you did for that first time at Power Slap 1 against Darius?
AJ's, when you think of Power Slap, AJ's got to be in the top 3, top 5 guys you think of. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's somebody that won all throughout the show, and he's been winning in the event. So, I mean, and he's a light heavyweight champion. So, I mean, so AJ, somebody you think of when it comes to power slap. So, yeah, I think this match I'm going to be really excited for. Probably not as much as the Darius match, but, I'm going to be pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, good. What's going on with Darius? I mean, now 0-2 in power slap. Is it just bad luck? Do you think has he lost a step? What do you think it is?
Man, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I haven't had the chance to talk to him. I know his last match, it seemed like he was trying to say that, what's his name? Dorian had quite a few clubs, which when I watch it, it looked like he had 1 or 2, but that's not for me to call. So I think he was just upset and wanted people to start calling stuff. And yeah, I don't know what happened though. I mean, whether I'm right or wrong, I'm never going to argue with the ref, especially right there on camera, on stage. That's something to do in the back after the show, respectfully.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, Darius now dropped down to number 5 in the heavyweight rankings. So he's obviously 2 losses has kind of brought him down a little bit there. Will be interesting to see where he goes from here. You're just curious. I mean, the heavyweight division, with both you and Austin Turpin leaving, is now going to be void of some talent, obviously, and be an interesting matchup to kind of see. I'm not sure if you were able to see, James Stonier competed in the taping portion of it ahead of time, and a very interesting cat, I think, that could have an opportunity to kind of climb up the ranks. And I'd love to see him go up against Darius. I think he's number 6 in the ranking, number 5, 6. Will be really good to see if James is for real or not. And I think Darius would be a great guy to be able to pit him up against.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, James is a big guy. I mean, I think he competed at super heavyweight for that event. So,
correct.
For him to come down to heavyweight, I mean, and he's already a big guy. I mean, so I think he's going to make a difference. I think he'll be one of the few guys that'll give the Bell a run for his money. So,
yeah.
The Bell is another guy. So.
Yeah, I know you're more of a small town guy from Missouri, but is Vegas starting to feel a little bit more like home? You getting a little bit more comfortable being there with the lights?
The first few times, yeah, it was different, but yeah, now it's it almost feels like my second home. Every time I go there, I'm there for usually a week and a half at a time, every other month. So I mean, yeah, it's becoming like my second home pretty much.
Yeah, awesome. Who's flying out with you to watch the match? Obviously, your wife's going to be there?
No, it's going to be probably my old man, and probably be my brother again. I'll probably bring they were both the retired military guy and the guy that's in active duty right now. So they may come again. So.
Awesome, my man. Well, I appreciate you joining me here. I'll give you the last word. Just shout out your social handles, and if there's anybody that you want to thank, to help you get up here for this title match once again.
I think the only social I have is the Instagram, the Wolverine.sfc, and I just want to thank everybody at Power Slap, everybody that puts it together, everybody that's involved in it, including yourself. I mean, you promote, I think, more than they do. I mean, so I just want to thank everybody and for letting me be a part of it and for giving me the shot at AJ. And I want to thank AJ for accepting it. So it's going to be a fun one.
Awesome, Ron. Appreciate you. We'll see you there live in Vegas.
Yes, sir. Thank you.